Hello friends, welcome to Akulmac Live. India-Russia trade is exploding, but it is not just about the oil anymore. Learn about the new free trade agreement roadmap with the Eurasian Economic Union (EAEU). This is to redefine economic ties and push bilateral trade towards $100 billion target by 2030. This is the future of non-oil trade diversification between New Delhi and Moscow. Let's find out. For years, the narrative of the India-Russia trade was dominated by a single commodity, which is oil. The relationship, while strategic, was fundamental imbalanced. Driven by India's massive energy imports, our total trade crossed a massive 68 billion in the last fiscal year, but the exports from India were very tiny fraction. This imbalance is precisely why this story is so critical. New Delhi and Moscow are now actively rewriting their trade blueprint. The focus is no longer on just oil, but on a massive long term shift towards a diversified, resilient, and balanced partnership. The centerpiece of this pivot is the acceleration of the free trade agreement with the Eurasian Economic Union or the EAEU. The leaders of both nations have set a staggering goal of 100 billion in bilateral trade by 2030. Achieving this means we must look beyond oil. First, let's understand the scale of this opportunity. The EAEU is a single economic bloc comprising Russia, Kazakhstan, Belarus, Armenia, and Kyrgyzstan. It represents a combined GDP of approximately 6.5 trillion and offers a common market of nearly 185 million people. For Indian businesses, this represents a huge, relatively untapped trade zone. The recent high-level meeting in Moscow, led by India's Commerce Secretary, confirms that FTA is on the fast track. The terms of reference were signed in August 2025, laying out an ambitious 18 months work plan to finalize the goods agreement. The urgency is driven by a few key factors. Number one, the global trade shifts. The world trade architecture is fragmenting. India is facing unpredictable tariffs and sanction risk in other markets. And therefore, it sees EAEU as a predictable strategic partner for diversification and supply chain resilience. Number two is fixing the deficit. Simply put, a free trade agreement on a non-oil goods will dramatically lower the tariffs for Indian exporters, which currently faces weighted average import tariffs of about 12% in other regions. By cutting these duties, we open the door for India to balance the massive deficit caused by the crude oil imports. The goal is to make it cheaper and easier for Indian products to flood the Eurasian market. So, what exactly is India's planning to export beyond oil? The focus sectors are high value and high growth. Things like pharmaceutical. India is the global leader in generic medicines. Russia relies heavily on imported drugs, making this a natural fit. Number two is the engineering goods and machinery. Think auto components, industrial hardware, and tools, where Indian exports are already rapidly growing to fill supply gaps. Next is chemical, plastics, and textiles. Then further beyond is agriculture and marine products. So products like tea, rice, processed marine goods are being prioritized for faster regulatory clearances. The FTA is not just about goods, it's about services and investment too. India is pushing for easier mobility for its highly skilled IT professionals and greater procurement of Indian services like IT, BPM, and healthcare. On the investment side, cooperation in critical minerals, co-production ventures, and India's participation in developing the Russia's Far East are major targets. A trade deal is only good as its implementation. Both sides are tackling serious practical roadblocks, starting with non-tariff barriers and certification. India has successfully pushed for a system-based approach and quarterly regulated engagement to expedite clearance for pharmaceuticals and listing of Indian agriculture and marine establishments. This removes red tape that kills trade for small businesses. The focus is on key corridors like international north-south transport corridor to physically reduce transit time and cost, making Indian goods competitive. The shift to settlement in national and alternative currency is now over 90% of the trade, but both sides must ensure seamless, predictable payment mechanisms, especially for MSMEs. The move is more than just a trade agreement. It's a commitment to a deeper strategic partnership. By prioritizing a high quality FTA, India and Russia are demonstrating a clear path to move their relations past simple transactional energy trade. They are building an infrastructure from payments to logistics for long term economic convergence. Achieving the $100 billion target by 2030 relies almost entirely on the success of this FTA. It must unlock non-oil trade, support Indian MSMEs, and establish resilient supply chains. This new trade blueprint isn't just about New Delhi and Moscow, it's about shaping a multipolar economic future where trade is diversified and strategic autonomy is prioritized. Do you think India and EAEU can hit $100 billion target? Which Indian sector do you think will gain the most from this free trade agreement? Let me know your comments below. And if you found this analysis helpful, please like this video, subscribe for more in-depth geopolitical and trade breakdowns, and hit the notification bell. We'll keep tracking the progress of this crucial FTA. Thank you for watching and thank you for joining live. I will catch you again in the next one.